Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NRL Unpopular Opinions. Normally, we'd start the show in a pretty jovial sort of mood, but we do have a bit of a serious topic to talk about to lead off the show this week.
What's happening?
And we've only been delivered this to our desks over the last 20 minutes, but we have received our first cease and desist.
Well done, boys.
And I've been told that I have to address this.
What is it about?
So I did mention last week when we spoke about Reggie the Rabbit and the news story that was going on there that I was trying to tread lightly. And unfortunately, it's come back to bite us with a cease and desist from the man himself. Unfortunately, this is addressed to all of us, but specifically you, Oscar.
Yeah. What does it say? As the rightful owner of Reggie the Rabbit, I demand the following action to be taken immediately. Apologise to Reggie on air for your hurtful comments that have caused immense damage to Reggie's family. Cease any and all use or distribution of Reggie the Rabbit in any format, including physical and digital mediums. And then remove and destroy any existing copies or reproductions of material featuring Reggie the Rabbit.
Damn. Can I get confirmation? What date did this cease and desist come through?
This morning.
What's the date today?
I don't know.
I know what the date is. It's April Fool's! Oh, when you first said it, you had me for a moment, and then I realised...
It's all in the delivery.
Yeah. Then I realised, I was like, I got my kids this morning. Now you're getting me. Yeah, that's funny stuff, guys. Some of your best work.
Yeah, thanks. we were due. Oscar, you sweating a bit?
I knew I was safe because I was in Reggie's defence. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't really care anyway. I've had several cease and desists sent to my emails and to my junk mail. So
I sort of wish we did get one.
If it was from Politis about the accusation I made about the
the sleeper agent, the sleeper
that
agent
might have made me start sweating.
Yeah, actually, that's true. That's very.
Let's do it again. We weren't recording.
How good! April Fool's is probably my favourite day of the year, and I've got a few things coming up that I've got.
So on brand.
It's
your favourite day.
It is. You know what I actually come up with? And it's obviously going to be too late to everyone to know this, but on our Westarana page, we signed Daly Cherry Evans today, which is a good one. There's been a lot of comments come through on that as well. So very, very funny stuff. And I just wanted to get posted everywhere, so people are like, he's gone to the Panthers.
Get him to share it.
It's so funny. It's one of the greatest days ever. So if you're around me today on April Fool's Day,
look out. Let's talk some footy. Everything's a bit upside down as we're, 4 weeks into the season. We're coming off an unforgettable round unlike any other. 5 underdogs won, 2 covered the line. I think the weather had a bit to play in some of those results. Panthers are outside the 8 near the bottom. The Dogs are the only unbeaten team. And the Tigers rightfully in their spot in 9th. We're officially back.
As it should be.
I spoke a couple of weeks ago about how close the comp is, and I think I've been proven right so far over the last couple of weeks. What do you guys think has been the biggest surprise as we're about a month into the season?
Biggest surprise? I'd probably say the Bulldogs. I mean, I know, like I said, I know we're only 4 weeks in the comp, but they showed defensively why they're going to be thereabouts. And didn't you call them? Did you say that they were going to
miss the 8, wasn't it?
Yeah. Every time at the start of the year, no, it's okay.
Oscar hates your team, everybody.
No, Oscar. You know what? If you want to get on anything, and this is a punting podcast, whatever he comes out and says on round 0, just do the fucking opposite because it's going to happen. But they have been outstanding, haven't they? I mean, they showed why the Sharks are still shit over the weekend and why they probably won't be good.
Tell us what you really think, Jess.
No, honestly, I mean, didn't we? You know, we even said it, and I'm happy to hang my hat on where we talked about the Sharks would be this year.
I said they'd be minor premiers.
Yeah, like
they're shit.
They got absolutely bullied.
See,
at their
Gerald
home
did the opposite.
They got absolutely bullied at home, and the Bulldogs are a surprise. I mean, that's probably the biggest surprise is them. They have not lost the game this year, and when will it stop for the Doggies fans? They're excited. They're up. They're barking.
Without Birdo and Kickow as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other
impressive
point. That is impressive. What do you think? What's that like? You don't want, we don't want to know?
No, I probably need to reconsider my evaluation of the doggies. I think I was pretty cool on them last year and they proved me wrong for 27 weeks. And then moving Jacob Preston over to the left edge in round 4 with Kickout, they put...
he's been outstanding.
They put Curran on the right edge and they put Presto over on the left with Bailey Hayward. So 2 new faces on that left side. That's where they generate a lot of their looks in attack. They'll use Kickout to either skittle a defender or get a quick play the ball and then they swing it right through down towards Critter's edge. So they had nothing there. So they moved Preston over there. He was outstanding. A couple of really nice lines run off Bailey, some beautiful hands to put Sherry over for one of his tries. They're just finding ways to win. They don't beat themselves. Doesn't matter if they don't have the best attack because they just work so f***ing hard. And they seem to like, I think that's what my main note from that game was. Sharks didn't want to win it ugly.
Yeah.
We know how good their attack is. It just wasn't happening for whatever reason. Whereas the Dogs were like, hell yeah, this is a shit ugly game. We love it. Let's smash dudes when they're on the ground. Reed Marnie's getting into fights.
Is he the biggest grub?
Who cares? It's such good entertainment. You can't deny it's working for them. They've found, we talk about identity and culture and all these buzzwords in rugby league all the time. That's the Dogs personified right now. So they're going good.
So you're not doubling down on them missing the 8? You've done the 180?
Wasn't that one of our legs in the multi? Was it the season futures?
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, they've had a relatively friendly start. I mean, really good against the Sharks. Eels were terrible.
I mean,
Titans
the Dragons
were terrible in round 2, and then it was a good win against the Drags in round 1.
It was, yeah. I mean, it's still early. I think I said round 10 is where we're going to really find out where you'd be in this competition. If you're sitting in that top 8 at about round 10, I think you can really start to see your team accelerate into the back end of the year. But that's just always been the consensus in this competition. We'll see where they are in round 10. They've got to a great start. And at the moment, they're playing some of the best. So they are the most surprising thing that we've seen at the start of the year.
The team the Dogs beat on Saturday, the Sharks, I feel like it's easy to kind of gloss over that result for Cronulla. 20-6 losers. Were the Dogs just the better team, do you think, there, Oscar? Because to me, it looked like the Sharks just weren't ever really comfortable with the tempo of that game. Yeah. The physicality got the better of them as well. I've had a look at the market. You can take $3.75 for Cronulla to miss the top 8, which I think is some decent value.
It's big value. I don't like it, but it is valuable.
Yeah, and they take on the Raiders on Thursday, a team that's looking to bounce back. They always respond well. So where are you at on the panic meter with the Sharks?
No, I'm not panicking just yet. I think Canberra this week comes at a perfect time for them. They didn't want to win it ugly last week. They've got to win it ugly against Canberra. That's exactly what the Raiders do. Is they make shitty, grindy games. So there's no reason. Like 2 weeks ago when Cronulla beat the Rabbitohs, Souths were dead shit poor. But Cronulla's attack wasn't really clicking either. They won that on their defence. Guys like Teague Wilton were flying off his line and jamming Souths, keeping them inside their own 20 in yardage almost every other set. So they can win games like that. They just didn't want to last week. So no panic meter for me just yet. I'm keen to see how they respond against the Raiders. I think also losing Kale Iro and then losing Talakai within 10 minutes of each other, that's a big reshuffle. They finished with 2 on the bench in a game where Canterbury put a lot of fatigue into them. So, yeah, there were some factors last week.
The Bulldogs really made them have to make big plays, right? Like a lot of where they get close to the line, it didn't look like they were giving them anything. Like we know the Sharks and how they set up, Oscar. Their attack close to the try line is very hard to beat. It's very hard to defend because the way they set up. They just looked like they had to go the length to score tries on the weekend because that defence and the kick chase from the Bulldogs was outstanding. Yeah. Like there was no deviations in that line. Yeah. They were all together and it was just finding it really hard for Ronaldo to get out, like Ramian to find his front and get out and get a quick play. Well, they just really struggled.
And it's good coaching because what did Sharks do the week before? They scored 2 lengths of the field tries.
Correct. Yeah, so it shows that in this day and age that their backs, the Sharks are doing big jobs for them to get up the field. So the Bulldogs have done their homework and put them away over the weekend.
You spoke about that round 10 mark being pretty crucial to getting a gauge on some of these teams, Jarrell. If I told you that the Sharks now hit the road for the next 6 weeks, and I think Fitz spoke about, 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Fitz spoke about this post-game. So they got Canberra this week, then they go to Perth to play Manly, in Newcastle, at Leichhardt, Magic Round, and then back to Brookvale.
Yeah, well,
that is absolutely...
Well, without having a cliche moment and saying cliche things, you got to go week by week. Like, they're going to have to. Because the Raiders is going to be they got to worry about this week. Canberra are not going to roll over. They just got pumped by the Cows, who hadn't won a game. Not pumped, but they beat themselves. They beat themselves. Yeah. They are going to turn up red hot. And they play a brand of footy like the Bulldogs did at Shark Park on the weekend. So they're really going to struggle if they can't. They're just going to have to go week by week. And then you spoke about it. Week after is Optus. That's not a home ground. That's a home game for them, but it's in not. Perth.
Yeah.
So I think this is the way I think about the Sharks. I don't think they'll beat the teams that are up in the top 4. I do think they'll beat the teams that are in top 4. I don't think they'll beat the teams that are in the rest of the ladder. That's the way they've been
playing down to opponents. You reckon?
Correct. Yeah. I just don't think they can go with the big dogs. I honestly don't, and that's been their problem for the last couple of years. And that might be their drama if they've got to try and play catch up at the end of the year. You just can't do it. You need to fire early. Craig Bellamy said it the best when he talks about his Melbourne Storm. If they don't start well the year, it's hard to. You need to rest your good blokes at the back end of the year if you can give them a rest. So I think they're going to struggle if the next 6 weeks they don't find 3 of those.
Speaking about firing early, let's keep the monthly review going here. Who do you think's been the coach of the month so far? Would it be Ciraldo?
I mean, we can't go past the Bulldogs. I still don't think you can go past Craig Bellamy. After
the weekend.
Yeah, but I think because the way they started, what they've got, they went 3 in a row again to start off. They've done that, 18 years in a row, or 16 years in a row or something.
2-1, they've had a bye.
Yeah. So I still, Ciraldo's obviously the standout because they haven't lost a game. So, but I still like Craig Bellamy and the way he starts his seasons and how that from the start that game was so wet. They just looked like they were never in it.
Yeah.
They really struggled to get going, and they're a team that plays off the front foot. So, but yeah, Ciraldo.
I got Quinella, Shane Flanagan, and Wayne Bennett.
I was going to say Wayne Bennett.
Flano, just for the pure entertainment factor of the amount of zingers he's given us in 4 weeks of rugby league being back. And then, what Wayne's done with a decimated South side. 4 of our starting back 5 missing, captain missing. To be 3-1 to start the year. It's been really impressive. So, that's it for me.
What about the hot seat? Toddy Payton was probably number 1 contender up until the round just gone.
We might be getting something right for once.
Yeah.
He's been in the hot seat, but I think when we spoke about coaches getting the arse before round 10, we always make sure we talk about that. And if it was still pretty ugly from them, wasn't it? It
wasn't convincing.
It wasn't convincing.
It was such a shit win.
Yeah.
Jake Clifford scores 2. One deflected kick for a try, jumps over the top of the fullback for another try, that was mean, but you're not going to do that every week. And then Canberra had 2 line breaks. They didn't draw him past the fullback. It's like, what's going on? What's doing that?
They knew that was the last leg in our ball.
Yeah.
They wanted to
Yeah, I've got
they did.
Peyton and Christian Wolf, right? There's probably the 2 hottest coaching seats right now.
Do you reckon Wolfie would get the arse that quick?
Nah.
I don't think so.
I mean, we look at...
He shouldn't.
I don't know,
It's been that bad.
Yeah, not far off putting it all together.
Yeah, but the Wayne Bennett
what he said?
The Wayne Bennett factor. It's the Wayne Bennett factor again.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so sorry for any coach that comes after him, and that sounds not right. But but do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard a following act from Wayne. So, I don't think you can... take it off him. You got to give him a year.
Yeah.
You got to give him one season. You can, and I love Wolfie. It's the coaching role. Coaching is hard. It's tough. So you got to give him a year and then reassess. But they're not looking great at the moment.
Of the bottom 5 teams in the ladder, I think it's only Peyton that's really in the hot seat. So you've got the Eels, who they'll see the year out.
Yeah.
Dolphins, they'll see the year out. Roosters, I don't think they'll ever sack Robbo. Cowboys, Peyton, obviously, in the hot seat. And then, actually, you know what? Panthers, get rid of Ivan. What's he done for
I think I heard on the grapevine that their CEO at the Cows is leaving at the end of the year. So can you sack a coach after round 10 and your CEO at the same time? Do you know what I mean? I think their CEO is done after this year for the Cows. So is that in his favour? Is what I'm saying, that he doesn't go because of they're having a rebuild in the business sense as well.
Just clean house.
Yeah, or just clean house. Yeah, whatever.
Cowboys have next 6 or 7 weeks Penrith, Rabbitohs, then a bye, then the Gold Coast.
Oh, they'll win that.
then the Gold Coast, the Warriors, Penrith again, and then Manly. So that's a shit run.
So do you think that run might just force their hand? Like they might want to make it to the end of the year.
But who's on the radar if he?
Well,
is it Josh Hannay?
Yeah, they're just
He'd
doing
be
interim
around
for the year.
But would Josh Hannay take the role over? I think.
Is he there? Or is he at Cronulla?
Is he?
he does a bit for the Maroons. I know
is
that
he-
much.
or is
I think he went Cronulla first and then.
But what I'm saying is, sorry, if
Would he
his
do
job-
it?
Would it be the job?
Well, he's been interim coach like 3 times.
Yeah.
He's like the most experienced interim coach
Ever.
in rugby league.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind.
He's good.
Analyst wise, and I've seen his work, he's
got
good.
good
at-
raps on him,
he's-
eh?
Yeah, very good raps.
And then Redcliffe have got the Titans, Penrith, Melbourne, Canberra, Easts, Parramatta.
Yeah.
So it's
Good luck.
easier. That there's winnable games there. Oh, yeah, geez. It's a tough run for both of them. Cowboys needed that win on the weekend. I don't know if how long does it
What about Riles?
stop the chat, though?
Like, is he on the
Riles is going, why the f*** did I
Yeah,
take
is he on the chop? Mate, I don't think I've ever seen, like, Manly played bad on the weekend.
They did, yeah.
They could not find points in that first half. They just couldn't find points. And I got to give a rap to my long-necked friend. He just calmed it down. He didn't do anything crazy. But they didn't. That's how bad the Parramatta Eels are at the moment. They cannot go with any team. I'm rattled.
It's hard, yeah, it's
I'm
hard.
rattled from watching them. I was like, I actually thought there could be an upset because
Yeah,
then when
you said in the chat.
and then when I watched them, I was like, I vomited in my throat.
Well, I think I said to you, I can't back the upset because of their defense, but it's their attack.
Yeah, they're
Parramatta's
like-
attack. Like
they just didn't-
even like I'm trying to think of when the Bulldogs were dead shit. They still had repeatable actions through
correct,
Birdo
yeah.
and Josh Adokar.
Yep.
And when, like, I'm sure listeners will be thinking of their own examples now, but like, they didn't kick to Zach Lomax in good ball once for the second week in a row. Like, what's doing? What are they working? Obviously, defense is the priority right now. And it's going
I'll
to
tell you what.
rebuilds take time. I'll be the first to say that. Everyone wants results straight away, but I mean, their attack's bad enough. The least they could do is be kicking a Lomax 4 or 5 times a half.
Are we seeing Zach like his catch and pass on the weekend was
It was pretty bad.
pretty bad. Like there was 3 or 4 opportunities where he needed to sit those passes.
Has he ever been really good at that action?
Yeah, when he flick passes.
Yeah, it's only
Flick
yeah,
passes,
only
good like
flick
that.
Flick
passes.
passes.
Yeah.
I feel like he's never really been that quick.
Like and I've got massive raps on because I think when he plays on the wing, he's the best winger and one of the best wingers in the comp. Like he's strong carries back. The reason why I like him is because he chases everything.
Yeah.
and
He's still trying,
for a
isn't he?
winger. I don't think I see wingers do that anymore. I see them pull out of tackles to defend it. Like, what does it matter if you go up and drop the ball? They're going to play the ball there anyway. Compete for it. He does that every time he plays in that position. So why doesn't he just peel out to the wing and kick it to him? I
Yeah,
just
well,
don't know.
they've had him defending on the wing at times. Definitely in the first 3 weeks when Jordan Samrani was in there, they defended Jordan in the centres and put Zach on the sting so that he could do his kick returns and he makes good decisions out there. So, like, that's evidence of there's some good moves there. But, yeah, I mean...
I can't believe I'm watching this much footy.
This much Eels footy.
Yeah, I know,
There's
like-
something going
What's
wrong.
wrong with
Yeah,
that?
I don't know what was going on, but yeah, they're in. Riles is in trouble as well.
We could have a round 10 spoon bowl, Eels against the Finns at Combank, round 10. Nice and early.
Just get the coaches in a boxing match.
Yeah.
That's how you win the games.
Get
We don't
Georgie
watch the
Rose to
footy.
sort that out.
Get George Rose on and just go, Riles, E.T., Todd Payne.
Coaching deathmatch.
Let's go.
From coaching to players, who's been the player of the month?
Oh, I've got a few of
DCE
these.
comes to mind, maybe Ponga. Who else?
Jamie Humphries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
shout.
What did I say? I wrote
Trapezoids of justice.
I've gone Gray. I think he's been outstanding for the Rabbitohs. Special mention to Gemmett and Payne in the Broncos.
Payne,
I mean,
Payne's
Gemmett
probably
Shibasaki has been, I would say, the buy of the year so far because he was in a train and trial at the Broncos. So he's
No,
been
the
out-
buy of the year is the razor that he uses to shave that fierce goatee.
Is that what you've got your goatee for?
I had the goatee before Gemmett made it cool.
He did it first.
And Tino, I mean, he's gone under the radar.
that's a good
He
shout,
flew under the radar as well
Nice.
for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yep.
I don't think because the Titans missed the first round and they lost their first game, but I think his numbers have been great.
Enormous.
But Jye Gray, like, I want to talk about that for a second. I think the biggest masterclass from Wayne Bennett could be that he says, look, you're going to go play centre to the big dog, Latrell Mitt.
Yep.
Indefinitely?
This week. Well, no, until Jye falls off.
Okay.
I just don't. He's leading Dally M points at the moment. His numbers are insane.
Where does he rank on the VB hard earned?
Oh, yeah.
The important shit.
Can I not say? Do we think? I know Trell's probably he's looks the fittest he's ever been, but if you take him out of the side, where do you put Jye Gray? You can't play him in 14. I don't think he has the same impact.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think he will. He needs to get into the game like he's been getting into. And the reason why the Rabbitohs are where they are is a lot to do with him.
Yeah.
He's hard to handle. He defends well. He talks out of the back. Like, man, he's running over 250 plus metres a game.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't win those 3 games without Jye to start the year, particularly because our forward, like the Rabbitohs yardage game's below average at the moment, but when Jye's running for 250 plus every week, he's play 4 carries to get a quick play of the ball for a 5th tackle kick.
Yep.
Excellent. Like, yeah, everyone can see that he's been a huge addition to the side this year. There's photos of Trell training at left centre.
Give me, because who will he go up against?
Robert Toya.
Or
Stay out because Trell Mitt's already my leg on the multi this week.
yeah. No, I haven't picked him.
Look, I agree
Who's
with
the other
everything.
centre?
Marky Mark.
Roosters?
Mark, yeah.
Marky Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense this week because AJ, Munro and Stretch are all out. So Rabbitohs need a centre or a winger.
He doesn't get back at fullback.
So you can move Tass to the wing. You can play Latrell in the centres this week and you can keep Jye at number 1.
I'm going to say it here right now. He does not get back in the fullback.
The whole
position.
season?
I don't think he does.
Yeah, okay.
Latrell's done his best work in his career in the centres. I've always thought.
I'm calling it
Clip
right
it.
now. If he plays this weekend and they dust the Roosters, which they should if they're adding someone to his quality in the centre role,
Sure.
he's got energy. He doesn't have to do anything else but defend and run over people.
Yeah. All right,
know what I mean?
all right. I'm coming around.
Come with me. Jye Gray stays in that position.
Look, Wayne's got form doing this with Trey Fuller and Hammer at Redcliffe.
Yep.
So there's merit to it. The problem with that is long-term, Campbell Graham and Jack Whiten are our centres, so you got to move one of them out.
Yeah, that's very true, but
I just think...
But isn't it a good problem?
100%.
Isn't it a good problem to have for you? When we were talking about, I said they were going 0-5, so maybe go against me when I say stuff as well. But I just do not think if Jye Gray is doing the night, and it's probably he's going to play even better with Latrell Mitt
there,
having the running game that he does, breaking tackles, having quick play the balls.
Yeah.
Off the back of him, imagine you go to that edge and he misses and they go block. Try,
Manifest it.
Manifest that. Get excited.
The only problem with Jye Gray is his almost non-existent passing game.
Yeah.
Like his running game is
But
superb.
has it been a problem for you so far?
Well, no.
Yeah.
But he's also left 1 or 2 tries out there in each game. And
But you still want him.
defensively, Liam Martin and Britton Nicola both scored very similar tries in the last 2 weeks, cutting back in behind the markers because the Rabbitohs' ruck defence has to stay so tight to protect Jye Gray at A, and then they overchase when the ball goes wide and teams are getting them back in behind.
I'm just saying to you right now, Wayne Bennett will not. If it's the best for the team, there's no one better.
I think it's best for the team this week.
I think it's best for the team.
Long term.
It could be juicy. It is juicy stuff.
We'll put a timer on it. Starts round 5. How long does Latrell Mitt stay in
This could be a market in itself.
Yeah. If they win comfortably this weekend, which they should, it's a big game. You know the rival that is the Roosters and the Rabbitohs.
Yep.
If they win comfortably this weekend, he does not go back to
Stays
the
there.
fullback position.
Just adds so much juice to
Hot.
the rivalry, doesn't
Yeah.
it? I'm excited for it.
Well, and he's not going to. Charles not going to go out there and play shit because he wants his position back. He's going to go and brain it.
Yeah.
And that's another problem.
Yep.
Wayne will not. You've seen it. You've heard it here first. This is it. Oh, I'm excited.
Well, Wayne's not going to tell us. So.
Yeah, true.
You're so
All right, I want to bring in a new segment here, fellas.
yeah, I love me some new
We're
segments.
going to bring in a new award that we're going to dish out each week, each one of us, called Hog of the Week.
Yep.
Where we
What is a hog?
Every time
You're talking about our.
you got to make
no?
that noise.
we're
Death
gonna
growling.
like Bellamy over the weekend.
yeah,
The hogs were off.
could be that. We're going to highlight a player that stood out to us
Oh,
from
okay,
the
cool.
week just gone.
So do we have to do it this from last week?
Yep, from the
Okay.
round just past. So I'm going to highlight Gutho, 190
nice.
metres in that win over Melbourne. Parramatta fans would be absolutely sick to their stomach watching him
Oh.
play right now. He's playing with so much energy and pace that it's like a whole new lease on life for him. So he's my pick. Oscar, I'll throw to you for yours.
Yeah, I already gave him a shout out, but Jacob Preston, I think what he did for the Bulldogs attack, they had a plan to get at Nico Hines on the Sharks' right edge, and he did it twice for 2 tries. So playing in an unfamiliar position, running off an unfamiliar half. Shout out,
I'm
Preston.
going to get in there before Fogs because I had him for 2 or more tries.
He's got the Broncos.
Yeah, well, I had him for 2 or more tries on the weekend and put it in groups as well, and that's Shibasaki.
Shibasaki.
Chucked that in the groups and that got up. So, Shibasaki stand out for the week for me. He's just getting better every week. He's so hard to handle. He's come a long way. He's a journeyman at the moment. He was at the Broncos left, come back. I love how he's playing footy at the moment, and him and Dozer are just hitting it off. I love it. It's real horny stuff.
Have you got a plan B for
Yeah, I
him,
do.
Fox?
I've pivoted very quickly. Mine was obviously Shiva, but I've got to give a shout out to Brimo against the Trickies last week. 2 tries.
Yep.
Looks great in the halves, I'm
Dilf.
going to say. Yeah.
Dilf.
Big fan of him.
Yeah, he's a dilf too.
How was the derby on Friday night? You were in attendance?
Derby was great. They got 44,000, even though it was pissing down. So, I think that this derby sort of thing has legs between the 2 Brisbane teams.
And look, we did say that the Dolphins haven't been going great, but they put up a fight in that game, and it wasn't a blowout. It could have been.
I feel like we left a lot of points out there.
Probably.
We probably could have put a lot more on them. So it
Well,
was
you better pick them up this week,
a
boys.
credit to the Dolphins' defense.
We're going to come back with the multi. You're listening to NRL Unpopular Opinions. It's time to pick our multi, but first we got to go back and recap what happened last week. We got 3 out of 4. Gerard, you kicked us off nice and early with
Yes, I did.
the under in the Roosters-Titans game.
Yeah, and that was very under.
very under.
Very
yeah.
under. I think it was 20 points back under.
Yeah, 50.5 was the line. So we were home and hosed.
Welcome.
I took the Dogs plus 10.5 alternate line against the Storm.
Crazy.
Well
Pretty
seen.
happy with that.
Yeah, very happy with that. Why didn't you go for 10, like 112, whatever? Yeah.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Fogs. Explain yourself.
What did you take?
I took Canberra on the nose. And,
Wow.
Good bet.
I thought it was good, and it was good till
When we were all watching it crumble before our eyes.
Oh man,
That loss made me angry.
and it was a good little odds boost because it was $1.90. I thought I was a genius, but
Obviously,
Here we are.
we weren't, and here you are. You've fallen down a peg.
yeah. Well, I started 2-0, and I think I've
Back to
fallen
reality.
off very.
I have
hard.
to say this. I've gone better. I've doubled what I did last year.
You actually have, yeah.
Already. We're in round 4.
Deary me.
And Oscar, you brought us home with the Wires plus
Just
3.5 or
to
so.
rub salt
Wait,
into
how
the
do I do
wound.
it? This way. Luka Mikiafu. Tries in 2 tries in 2 weeks. Don't do that.
You keep giving us great screenshots.
Up the wires.
Well, who else did it, actually? Someone played. Was it someone did it from...
All the Tigers were doing the
Yeah,
the
they were...
four.
Oh, were they?
So,
yeah. So it looked like a...
The Tigers started doing this, which is actually pretty good, but then the Wires won, so then
Well, they
they turned
started
it
to do
into the
that.
runner wave. Yeah.
That's really weird.
Yes, Sania Tariva got up and went, "Rah!"
He's pinched that
It's
from
real
Chicago
manly.
Bears, surely.
Yeah, I think he has.
Well, he's had a time because he was a cat in his former life. And Panthers, I mean. He was.
Clip that.
Yeah, that's great. Great content. Gold.
Breaking headline: Gerald hates Sunita Drew.
So the records, I'm 3-2, so are you, Gerald. Fogs and Oscar, you're both 2 and 3. You're making some ground though, Oscar.
Here we are. Yeah.
I'm going backwards.
Did you get off to a bad start? You didn't get one in the first week. Round 0.
Yeah, I haven't got nothing. I haven't got none for a few weeks.
You've got nothing? Okay. So what's the multi?
So I'm kicking us off on Thursday night, is it? Raiders plus 5.5 against the Sharks.
Yes,
Love the
Thursday.
Raiders to bounce back. Fogs, you're up next.
Yeah, I need to get back to basics. Broncos 13 plus.
Yep.
Against the West Tigers. Let's just play the hits.
$1.62. I think that's short.
Yeah, I know. No lure for the Tigers.
Well, we did say 42. $1.42 was
Naughty
the
Oh yes,
was where we'd cut the line. If you're going at below $1.42, if you hate money, obviously, but that's where we draw.
If
the
you
line.
hate the boys and money,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're flirting with that line, folks.
$1.62. That's
22 cents?
13 plus in the
20
wet.
cents
In the
between-
wet
if that
too.
lands-
Makes me nervous.
Oh, if that $1.62 leg lands, folks, you'll be my hog of the week next week.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You don't call that on him. And we're going in the same game.
Yeah, Gerard, what do you
teaming
got?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go.
Two great footy minds.
Yeah. We're going to go the Rabbits. I'm going to go the Rabbits.
You are.
Against the Roosters in a great rivalry that game will be.
$1.77.
Yep, $1.77. So I've topped you, folks.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
The
Got a
most
little bit
cowardly
extra.
leg of the
And
week.
What have you got? Actually, we should have coward leg of the
Coward
week.
leg of the
Actually, that
week.
would
Yeah,
be
we
good
could do
to
that.
Just Bronx to win then, thanks.
I've taken Trell Mitt to score any time, whether he's at fullback or
Fullback.
centre. I think they're going to target Chook's ruck defence, worrying. The spaces around guys like Suo Wong and now Fa'u White are repeatedly getting targeted. Titans scored 2 tries there last week. Brimo just smashing over beside the ruck. So, yeah, I like Trell Mitt to score in his return.
To recap that, we got the Rabbits to win, Troll Mid anytime, Raiders plus 5.5, and the Bronx 13 plus. We're getting some nice little double-digit value there
Are
for
we?
those 4-leggers. We are,
No
Gerard.
way.
Yeah.
I thought it was going
We're
to
all
fall
about
under.
value.
I was thinking of fall under. That's good. Good stuff.
That will be available on Ned's open groups on the app. Lads, we're about to get out of here. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Looking forward to, and what I'm about to say are two different things. I just have to say that I've got to stick up for my long-necked friend over the week that has been a bit. There's a smear campaign out for him, obviously, and I'm just for him because I know what type of bloke he is, and I'm just getting the shits with people running his name to the ground because people don't know him. He's actually not a greedy prick. He's a good bloke. He's a family man, and I really hope that stuff comes out, later in the year about what's happening.
You know some things, don't you?
I know.
Sitting on something.
I just know that I know he's a good person. Oscar. And,
It was great to see the hill at Brookvale erupt for him.
Well,
wasn't it?
correct. I mean,
Really good.
If that's not enough,
Yeah.
what type of a person he is, and he's been at that club for a reason, for a very long time for a reason, and it's been for the people, it's been for the fans. So I'm just putting that out there into the universe and sticking up for me mate, because I know there's some people, we don't need to name names, but I think we all know who. He's not greedy, and he's a good person, so I got you, Ches.
Yeah, well said. How long were you on the phone for him last week after
Yeah.
the show?
Yeah, fair bit.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was a fair while, but it was more honestly just about how he was doing and if he was okay, because I suppose the next part of his life and the decision he's about to make could be big. So I just wanted to make sure that he was okay, and that's what friends do.
Well said,
You were
mate.
also ironing out the kinks in that Westerana Panthers contract.
Yeah, I was. So one decision from him is he will come to the Arana Panthers if I'm not coaching. So I won't be coaching next year.
Sacrifice for the team.
Yeah.
Oscar, anything from you?
Yeah, just a quick little shout out to Jalen de Groot. One of the strangest names in rugby league. Did a really good job.
beg to differ.
Yeah, true, actually. Did a really good job filling in for Keanu Kinney, who's an enormous loss for the Titans. But
He is,
that
yeah.
little shape that he ran down the right edge to put Philip Sami over, that's something the Titans have had in their kit bag for a while. They put David Fafita in that jockey position, and he tips onto the winger.
Yeah.
De Groot doesn't need to do heaps, but if he can just even threaten with that little try-scoring option down that right edge, it's going to pull a defensive number. It's going to create spaces more for Brimo and JC. So, yeah, shout out Groot. I am Groot.
I Am Groot. Great movie. Have you seen a little clip of it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Fogs, you off to Suncorp Saturday night?
Nah, I'm not, but
Okay.
No, shut up, Brian. No, I want to hear what he's about to say. Where will you be? Because I feel like you just drink piss every week and I love it.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. But I wanted to give a shout out to Dwayne Bennett, who took time out of his day to interact with the bloke I was babysitting.
Who was that bloke?
I went to the Bronx with Dill. And Dwayne was really, really lovely with him. He took time out to have a genuine conversation with him.
He knew who Dill was.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Dill, not sure. But they got a photo together and Dill was like, oh, we're both on TV. I got out of there. So
Dylan, you need to stop this shit, Dylan. Like, honestly, you and your tablecloth shirts, you need to calm down and move on with your life.
That was one of your best comments on Instagram too.
Thank you very much.
But
I'll be here all week.
Shout out Dwayne Bennett.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Gerard. Thank you, Fogs. We'll be back next week.
Yes.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website